It is explained in books that it's like a tree with many branches. Is that why there are not so many conflicts? Because they are branches from the same tree? Can you please explain how these branches came out after the passing of Holy Prophet ﷺ? Is this the reason why Holy Prophet ﷺ speaks about the Ummah as one body?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Prophet ﷺ speaking about the Ummah as one body is a little bit different, and it's more wide. Here, Tariqat is referring to the spiritual teachings, Tasawwuf, the deeper batin teachings of Islam. There is a Sharia, the rules of the do's and don'ts. Then there's a Tariqat. Let me explain it simply. It is the why you are doing it. Understanding why you're doing it, both in the physical understanding and also in the spiritual understanding. During the time of the Prophet ﷺ, this kind of spiritual teachings also, Tasawwuf, existed before. It came from the Prophet ﷺ, of course. For example, when he says, I was a prophet before Adam, I was a prophet when Adam was between water and clay. I was already a prophet. You're saying that. That is not contained in the laws of the do's and don'ts. These are other things that's happening that makes the people to think and makes them to go deeper, trying to understand that. And that is one of the things that requires you to first be doing everything correctly, the do's and the don'ts. Then, when you're clean and you're prepared and you're able to listen and to be trained, then you listen and you will train and you will try to understand the meanings of these words and the meanings of the Prophet and the meanings of Allah. But during the Prophet ﷺ's time, this knowledge was also not given to every Sahabi. Through traditional knowledge, there is 124,000 Sahabi Kiram. And according to the awliya Allah, which are the inheritors of the Prophets, teaching the spiritual meanings and the spiritual knowledge. They're saying every Sahabi also, they have a very, very high maqam. No saint, the highest saint that is in this world, can come close to the, let's say, lowest of the Sahabi. They cannot. There's just a special privilege that Allah has given to the companions of the Prophet. But during the time of the Prophet ﷺ, this kind of spiritual teachings is not given to everyone. Some of them, he's teaching this, some of them other things, some of them are able to understand, some of them they are not able to understand. And for that reason, only a select few that he's teaching this. And he says, this is like the essence. The body is like the Shariat. The Shariat is for everyone, but the essence is only for a few. But if the essence is not there, the body is not going to survive, is not going to live. It becomes like a zombie. Something else is going to control it. So both, they have to be spread out, and both have to be taught. But only a few are selected to teach this. Only a few, they are selected to have this kind of knowledge and to be spread everywhere. So during the time of the Prophet ﷺ, the two that were chosen, they were Hazrati Ali, Karmallah Wajha, and with him the Prophet ﷺ gave the knowledge, that's used in other words, secret. To give the secret and the knowledge to open up 40 different ways, different tariqats. 40. That was to Hazrati Ali, who was a cousin of the Prophet ﷺ, and his son-in-law, Ahlul Bayt. His station is very, very, very high. Then to Hazrati Abu Bakr Siddiq, that is the closest companion of the Prophet ﷺ, he gave the secret to open one way, not 40 ways, one way. So to Hazrati Abu Bakr Siddiq, he's given the secret, and this secret to open up this one way is what is called this Naqshbandi way. It was not known as Naqshbandi because this is a spiritual way, it's not concerned with names, you understand? But the reality was there, the teaching was there, and it changed according to the different people who were holding that secret. When Abu Bakr, Hazrat's day, it was called Siddiqiyah. Then when it became the time of Salman al-Farsi, it was called Salmaniyah. It changed, it doesn't matter. And everything is going according to permission of the Prophet ﷺ and his spiritual presence and his spiritual permission and his spiritual reality. Until it came to a point, which Grand Shaykh is this? Shahi Naqshbandi. Yeah. So then the permission was given, the order was set. Have this word Naqshband is not even an Arabic word. It's not. There's a different secret to that now. And that will be known as that, this tariqat from Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq until the end of times is known as Naqshbandi. The 40 tariqats from Hazrat Ali, Hazrat Ali would give it to the one who succeed him, and they start spreading and opening up through the ages. Through the ages. Certain age, this tariqat comes out. Certain age, this tariqat comes out. After 100 years, after 1,000 years, different tariqats, and all trace their knowledge and their spiritual lineage back to Hazrat Ali. 40 tariqats. What are these 40 tariqats that comes out from Hazrat Ali? All the tariqats except for the Naqshbandi tariqat. They're called the Qadiris, the Rufa'is. You may say the Mevlevis. And some, you think they are big tariqats now, but they used to be a splinter of a different group from a major tariqat. And even that major tariqat, at that time it starts to come down, and this tariqat, splinter tariqat, it became more powerful. Like for example, the Jarahi tariqat. It's not a tariqat, it's a branch of a branch of a branch. So there's no fight, of course, because it's different secrets that's given. What does that mean? Because people's characteristics are different, so you need different tariqats for that. Some, they are more prone to, let's say, to be trained in the military. There's a tariqat for that also. What is that? Bektashi tariqat. And it's very powerful in the military for hundreds of years. Some, their nature is more pulled towards, let's say, the arts, music and poetry, and that they are pulled then to the Mevlevi tariqat. And some, they are specially selected to be the leaders of this world, and their training has to be completely different. And that is the Naqshbandi way, the Naqshbandi tariqat. So, yes, for over 1,000 years, people don't really fight about this. People know each other, and it's not about ranking anyway. People know how they are, and they're not arrogant and stubborn like people like us today. Now everyone is fighting, saying, no, this is higher, this is lower, this is this, and this is that. And people now coming up to say, oh, Hazrat Ali is higher than Hazrat Abu Bakr, and their tariqat is higher than this. And I say, you're never finishing with that. What you gain and what you lose by being busy with that kind of thing. I'm not talking about Shias are saying this. Ahli Sunnat are saying this. People in Tasawwuf, they're saying this. Now there are people in Tasawwuf who is very trendy now, that they start cursing at Hazrat Muawiyah. Allah. How many people you bring to Islam? How many cities you founded? Huh? How many idols you brought down? None. He did all that. Idiot, disgusting people. No shame. No shame. Because shame is no longer taught. So now they're fighting and saying like this or like that and trying to bring down Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq and all things, but we don't get too busy with that. You don't need to have conferences on this, please. You don't need to fight and attack people on this also. Just to know and pull back. But the end of their way, of these 40 tariqats, when they graduate, when they finish, that qualifies them to begin in this way. The end of their tariqat is the beginning of this tariqat. Anyone can claim to be Naqshbandi, as anyone can claim to be this or that, but claiming is something else and the reality is something else. Am I claiming that we're real ones and we're 100% in this? I'm claiming that I'm following one who is like that. Our Shaykh and our grand Shaykh. Are we trying to be? No, we cannot even be compared. Let alone Naqshbandi or Tariqah, we cannot even be compared with the Muslims who lived during the time of Khilafat. If we show them what we can see today, we show them this is what we can see, what we're exposed to, they say, Allah, you are living in Jahannam. How can you have your faith? Your faith is finished. So, in the past they don't fight. Now everyone is fighting because we live in the time where there's no Khilafat, there's no control, there's no ruling. Everyone can claim, or this is the time of Dajjal, this is the time of confusion anyway. This time is going to end, inshallah. Be with the right ones. You are free. As much as you think that you can control your breath, when you breathe, when you pull in your breath, and when you let go, you are free. If you cannot control your breath, which we cannot control our breath, as our Shaykh is saying, the Awliya Allah is saying, you are a prisoner between two breaths. The believer knows he is not free, and his only freedom is to be with his Lord. May Allah forgive me and bless you. Wa min Allahu tawfiq. Al-Fatiha. Assalamu alaikum.